It's now time for Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, live on the Woodward Sports Network. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m. Starring Ryan Ermanni, Michigan great and former NFL baller Braylon Edwards, and of course, Tom Mazawey. Let's talk some sports.
Good afternoon. Welcome back to another episode of Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. I'm your host, Braylon Edwards. Ryan Ermanni won't be with us. He's actually out enjoying himself. Shouts out to you, Ryan. We miss you. Enjoy the Autism Speaks event. But I also am here with my guy, Tom Mazawey. Tom, how you doing?
I'm good, Bray. What are you doing here? Shouldn't you be golfing?
Contrary to popular belief, I still get paid.
Shouldn't you be golfing?
No, you know what? So, Maz, I had to, and first of all, before we get into that, Gentry, JB, Mike Gentry is with us this today on this beautiful day. How you feeling over there, buddy?
I'm good, boys. How you doing? Thanks for having me.
Always good to have my Red Wings insider with us. We can get into some Red Wings talk sometime in this show. JB in the TD booth today. JB, how you feeling?
Oh, I'm good, man. I'm good. Seeing another LeBron loss out there, and
you couldn't wait. You couldn't wait. You couldn't even tease
Hey,
the
guess
show.
what? He just flopped again.
You couldn't even tease the show. You better watch out for Flannel Sam runs in here and beats you up. Maz, you know, in February I had like an MCL sprain.
I did
have an MCL sprain. Actually, it was a lot.
How'd you do that again?
You know what? Mind your business. Mind your business. I basically sat on an empty luggage, an empty suitcase, and it collapsed, and my knee collapses at the same time.
Man.
No, it's okay. But I thought it was worse than it was, but it actually isn't. So I've been swinging the club a little bit, trying to ease into it to get into, as you know, once it gets to spring, once it gets to summer, my thing to do is golf. So
you know, I hate
I'm
this time of
easing
the year.
into it, man.
I hate this time of the year.
Well, that's because there's no more football to talk about.
And
It won't be basketball to talk about.
And there's too many golf outings.
Yep.
That's why I hate it.
Speaking of that, the PGA is at Oak Hill right now, but don't tune into that. Nothing major is going on over there, pun intended. Tom Mazawey, what are your plans for this beautiful weekend, brother?
You know what?
Because it is Friday.
It is. It's Friday. We got some things to do this weekend, but probably most of it outdoors, get in the backyard set. We got to clean the garage out this weekend, get all the outdoor furniture put out, all that kind of stuff. So my wife's going to have me busy. But tomorrow is the Preakness, which is the second jewel of the Triple Crown. That's my day again. So I got to get everything done by at least 3 o'clock so I can get and sit down and bet some horse racing. But last night, man, I stayed up till 1:30 in the morning fighting. My eyes were closing. Carolina against the Florida Panthers. Not only do they play a full game, they play another full game. And in the fourth overtime is when I conked out with about 15 seconds to go in the fourth overtime. Matthew Tkachuk ends it. And Florida, which I'm very happy about, gets the win 3-2. Phenomenal. Two great teams, but not a hell of a lot of offense, Mike Gentry. No. I mean, you're watching two teams that really aren't letting you get near their goalie.
Yeah, I know, and even their goalies, they both played phenomenal. Both had 60 saves, so that was everything you could ask for and more for a playoff game. I didn't make it the whole game, though. I only made it to, like, the second overtime.
I'm telling you, man, I conked out. I hate conking out.
Yeah, Maz is the epitome of he's there. He's built for the long haul as it relates to playoff games, as it relates to sporting events.
Yep.
But Maz, you've kind of been all over this one as it relates to the Florida Panthers.
Yes.
You talk about last year, they won the President's Cup in terms of most points scored during the regular season, the number 1 seed overall, and then they get bounced in the first round. It seems like they're getting their revenge here, and they're coming back, and it started. You saw who they put out last round. It seems like they're just getting better and better. Is this the Florida Panthers year? When's the last time they won the Stanley Cup?
It was a long time ago. They lost back in the day, back in I think it was 1994, something like that.
Something like that.
Something like that. With John Van Beesbrook. Then they won another one. They won a cup after that. But you know what? This is going to be a long series. These two teams are like almost identical. this thing could go 7. Whoever wins this series is winning the Stanley Cup, hands down.
Seems like there's no shortage of great hockey teams in the state of Florida. Tampa Bay Lightning winning 2, and they're actually winning 3 and being there 4 times. So shout out to the state of Florida right now in hockey. Maz, I got a chill weekend planned, man. I think last weekend there was Mother's Day, there was sister's engagement. Spending time with the family. Like this one, just relaxing,
That's
man.
good.
But it's
What's better than that?
But there's nothing. Oh, the Preakness.
Yeah.
I will watch. Speaking of the Preakness, you talked about that last week with the Kentucky Derby. Was 2 weeks ago?
Yeah,
it was 2 weeks ago. You didn't get a chance to really enjoy the Kentucky Derby.
Correct.
You didn't get a chance to sit on your couch, get your chips, get your water, get your soda, your fountain
Not
drink,
too many people
and
over.
enjoy it. You were hosting.
I know.
With the Preakness, no party,
No host.
just enjoying it. Correct?
I'm going to enjoy it, definitely. And you know what? Last week at the Derby, there were 3-4 scratches. Now there's already a scratch in this race, and it's the second choice, too. He is scratched from the race, so there's only 7 horses running in this race, so it's wide open. But Mage, the favorite, who's that number 8 horse there?
Mage, now Mage
I can't read
was
that. Number 8 is who?
the number 8 is First Mission.
Yeah, he got scratched.
Got scratched.
Yes.
Okay, so we got National Treasure.
Who I like. He'll be second.
4-1 odds.
Yeah.
Chase the Chaos.
Yes.
50-1. You got Mage, who also was 1 or 2 for the Kentucky Derby.
Yep. He won the Derby.
Okay, won the Derby.
He's the favorite here at 8-5.
Good. I want to see some action, man. Like last year, we didn't get a chance to see it with Rich Strike.
Yeah.
We didn't get a chance because he didn't run the Preakness.
Correct.
So it pissed us off.
Got a shot
here. It really pissed you off. You got what is this? Coffee with Chris.
Red Route 1.
There you go.
Perform. Blazing Sevens. Could be that should be the 3 horses right there.
Okay.
It should be Mage, Blazing Sevens, and National Treasure.
All right,
That's
sounds
what it should
good.
be.
I will be tuned in for you.
All right, buddy.
But let's take it to last night. Last night I was tuned in. There was another game outside of the Florida Panthers.
Yes.
There was the Los Angeles Lakers and the Denver Nuggets. They were down 1-0 as it relates to Jokic. Just an incredible showing in game 1, incredible team showing in game 1, incredible shooting performance. Well, here's game 2, and they win again. Mass, first thoughts when you saw the game last night. What did you think about the Nuggets, the Lakers, the game, the whole series, LeBron James, Jokic? First thoughts.
Who is this guy that I never heard of with 15 points in a quarter again? What the hell is his name with the Lakers? Hishigawa?
You talking about Rui Hachimura?
That's it, Rui Hachimura. Never heard of the guy. I got to be honest. Never heard of him. But the Lakers had control of this game.
Yeah.
They had control of this game till the fourth quarter when the Nuggets started to impose their will and the Lakers started petering out a little bit. Again, that thin air, that Denver mile-high air is going to get to a visitor sooner or later. And the Lakers had their chances again. Did you see the missed dunk by LeBron James?
LeBron James.
Did you see the missed dunk? He was going to try to showboat, and he lost control of the ball, and then he missed a couple of three-pointers at the end. Yeah. I read something today. Should LeBron James stop taking three-point shots? A lot of bad shots at the end of that game by both teams. Matter of fact, Denver didn't play defense on 2 of the Lakers' offense at the end of the game. The Lakers scored inside of 5 seconds twice.
Yeah.
They just let them run down the court and lay up the ball, and then they were hoping they'll make their free throws, which they made most of their free throws. Jamal Murray was great last night.
Clutch. What I saw from it, and I'll get you involved in this too, Gentry and JB. What I saw from it is just a couple things. Thing one, the Denver Nuggets can play any style, pace of game because Jokic affords them the ability to play any style, pace, and game. Jokic is in more shape than anybody on the Los Angeles Lakers. He can go up and down, up and down. He can play the point guard. He can play the 5, the 4, the 3, the 2. He can conduct the offense, get people involved. He can go off on attention when he needs to. They just can slow the game down, speed the game up, slow the game down, speed the game up, and that's what you saw at times. You know, Lakers would go on their runs, and it never fazed the Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets never got worried. And then also what's going on for them, and this is the Lakers can't necessarily do anything about this. The Denver Nuggets are shooting well.
Yeah. Game 1, they shot 50% from 3.
They're shooting well, and it's always somebody that can attribute. It's someone that can answer the bell. It's so many bodies. The Lakers have a lot of bodies, The Denver Nuggets have a lot of bodies that are playing well. KC Caldwell-Pope, a guy that Detroit knows all too well.
KCP.
Playing really well in this series, playing well in the playoffs, shooting the 3-ball. Michael Porter Jr. Shooting phenomenal from the 3-ball. Aaron Gordon is getting points in the paint. Jokic is Jokic. Jamal Murray didn't play good the first 3 quarters. Didn't play good, but you know who did play good the first 3 quarters? It was Nikola Jokic.
Yeah.
So now when Nikola Jokic slows up in the 4th quarter, which he did in game 1 as well, guess who's there to answer the bell? Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray was 36 points. Incredible 4th quarter. 16 points in the 4th quarter. Gentry, is it over for the Lakers?
I think it's hard to say it's not to. I don't think the Lakers come back and win 2 in a row. I think they squeeze 1 back out at home, and then Denver finishes it off. One thing that Lakers fans are like thinking going after last night's game is, oh, we played so well, we were so close. Well, over the last 2 games, Rui Hachimura and Austin Reeves have combined for 80 points.
Reeves is unbelievable.
Yeah, so like you're not going to get that every night. Obviously, you're not going to have bad nights like Anthony Davis is every night. It's every other night that happens. But other than that, I think Denver finishes it off. And I have a stat for you, Maz. LeBron has now missed 19 straight threes in the 4th quarter.
I love that.
1 for 20.
I read that
1
stat.
for 20 in the postseason.
I know.
19 straight.
Yeah, you know what? You hit the nail on the head. So much is being made about necessarily LeBron and AD and how they're playing. But Austin Reeves.
Wow.
But Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, the way in which they're playing, you can't waste. And this is the thing. When you're playing against a team that is younger than you, when you're playing against a team, let's be honest, more talented than you are, you can't waste performances like Austin Reeves had last night. You can't waste performances like Rui Hachimura with 6 of 6 in the 1st quarter or 2nd quarter when he came off the bench. You can't waste performances like Austin Reeves in game 1, 23 points. Rui Hachimura, like D'Angelo Russell at points yesterday. It's a situation where I don't want to spell that too much. I talk about that. I'll save some. In the words of Ryan Ermanni, I'll save some of that. But going back to Rui Hachimura, you can't waste performances like that. Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura coming off the bench and just lighting a spark. But guess what? None of the big guys answered the spark. No. Whether it was LeBron James, who was abysmal in shooting the 3-ball, whether it was Anthony Davis, who flat out, Maz, at sometimes,
he dogs it.
Look, I'm not a basketball guy. I watched basketball my whole life. I understand basketball. I know the game. But, Maz, I was watching the game, and it just looked like at times AD was spaced out. Like, it almost like AD, remember when LeBron James breaks the scoring record, and AD is sitting on the bench, and he's completely tuned out, and he's talked about that since. But just remember, he's kind of spaced out, right? That's how it seemed last night. It just seemed like he was spaced out with the flow of the game, with the flow of the offense. Now, he played well on the defensive side. Offense, he just wasn't there, and he didn't answer the bell, I think, when the Lakers needed him to. LeBron's been trying to pass this thing off to AD for the better part of 4 years now, and AD took it for a while, but now doesn't seem like he's answering the bell anymore.
And
most people, go ahead.
Oh, sorry,
go ahead,
there was a few questionable plays down that stretch for the Lakers, too. You have LeBron take 2 3-pointers within 3 minutes, and then they go back-to-back on AD. I think he took 3 threes in a row within the last 3 minutes. So, like, it was just some bad possessions. And like you said, Braylon, to your point, you got to finish out games like that. You're not going to get Rui and Austin Reeves and saying, oh, well, we came close, we can take one at home. Well, you should have had one in Denver. That's the point.
He could have had 2 in Denver.
Yeah. 100%. You could have had 2. You see how hard they fought at the end of game 1 to come back, just to come up short. And then yesterday, they had that game in spades. They were up at 10 at one point. They were up at 8 at point. They were even up in the 4th quarter.
I was surprised that Lakers came out as strong as they did, because I thought they'd be gassed, like you've been saying.
They don't have a choice.
I know. They had to go.
You know what, man? Let's leave a little meat on that bone. Right now, let's do a little message from Big Boy, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about what I saw, and we'll talk about them being a little bit gassed. Maz, Big Boy, tell us all about it.
You got it, man. You guys know it's Strawberry Fest at Big Boy. Try the classic breakfast items like the strawberry hot cakes or the mouth-watering red velvet waffle. If you're not feeling breakfast, try out the strawberry bacon chicken wrap or cool off with the summer splash salad. That is refreshing. You know it. And don't forget to grab dessert, especially their very delicious classic strawberry pie, the deep fried vanilla Oreos, and the strawberry hot fudge cake. All that and more at your local Big Boy.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit. not one, but two vehicles of your choice. One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
We're back, second segment, Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Maz is over there. Ryan is here. But guess what? We do have Mike Gentry, and we also got my man JB holding down the TD booth, talking about the Los Angeles Lakers and Denver Nuggets yesterday. And I teased this, and I don't want to tease it too long. I don't want to come out right after it. Maz, watching the game yesterday, you're watching LeBron James, and LeBron James had this magnificent career. I know you don't like LeBron.
No, I don't root for him, but he is a terrific player. Okay,
I appreciate that. Yeah. He's had this amazing career, 20 years it spanned. What happens sometimes is when people are so great for so long, I believe we expect them to be so great for so long, and I believe we ignore, the elephant in the room. Maz, remember when we were watching James Harden? And after James Harden left Houston, when he got to the Brooklyn Nets, and you kind of saw, and it happened quick with James. Now, obviously, I'm not comparing these two players, but I'm just talking about, where I'm getting at.
I do.
And then you watched him in Brooklyn, and you're like,
that ain't it.
That ain't the same James Harden. And I use aim for effect. That ain't the same James Harden. Remember and the list goes on to when you notice where a player didn't have it anymore, or you notice when a player wasn't what we categorize them at their peak.
Correct.
Last night watching LeBron James, I believe it's now more than evident that he is getting older. Like watching it last night, LeBron's in year 20.
He keeps himself in tip-top condition.
He keeps himself in tip-top shape.
You
saw what he did from, you knock it off over there. You see what he did from October through the beginning of January, averaging 30 points.
Yeah.
You saw
he wanted to break the record.
But he's also 38.
Yeah.
So at some point, that toll takes. Everybody's like, he's shooting too many three-pointers. He's settling for the three. Well, here's the problem, Maz, and it's just my assessment. And once again, I could be wrong. So feel free in the chat. I appreciate you guys. Chime in, conversate. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm right. Tell me if you got a different thought. But LeBron James, he's been shooting threes for a very long time. Mm-hmm. He's been settling on the three ball for a very long time. This isn't a new LeBron James as it relates to that. Problem is, it's not going in anymore. The problem is, he's more fatigued. Problem is, he doesn't have that extra oomph to shoot from 30 feet or from 27 feet for 48 minutes. Last night, LeBron was mortal. And it's the first time I saw it, and other people could have seen it before. Watching LeBron last night, LeBron looked immortal. Usually when we're talking about LeBron losses in the conference finals, man, we're talking about how LeBron's teammates let him down. We're talking about how coaching let him down. We're talking about, man, if he could have just got something from, the sixth man off the bench, the seventh man off the bench, if he could have got something from his premier player, which that one still holds true. He definitely needs something from Mr. Flexiglass and what does Charles Barkley call him? Street clothes.
Yeah, street clothes.
But last night, Maz, Gentry, and JB, I was the first time I saw LeBron look mortal, and it's kind of starting to be a thing. You look at the Warriors, you look at LeBron, it's like he's 20 years in. What more do we expect from him?
I get it, man. I get it. Every great athlete has their time.
Yeah.
And let's face it, he's on the downward side of his career. Right? At that time, he keeps himself, like I said, in tip-top condition. And we compared Albert Pujols yesterday with Miguel Cabrera and how they looked in their final year. Pujols got in shape.
Yeah.
And
I wonder how he did that.
I don't know. We haven't figured that out yet. And he hit a lot of home runs that year as well.
I wonder how he did that.
I don't know. But, right now it looks like it's clean.
He retired.
Yeah. And they let him get out of town.
I'll stop shaming Albert Pujols.
Thank you.
You're absolutely correct.
Thank you. But you could see the difference in the two guys. Miguel is going out like a lamb, and Pujols went out like a lion. So it brings us up to LeBron James. Yeah. And LeBron is still a lion. He is. He's still the best guy on the court top 3 best guy on the court, no matter what teams they're playing.
Except for when they're playing Denver Nuggets, because the best guy on the court.
Right. Well, I did say top 3.
You did, because Jamal Murray's number 2.
Yeah, I am seeing it. There's no doubt about it. And just him losing the ball last night out of his hands, trying to do that fancy dunk.
Yeah.
I was like, I never saw that before.
And the blown layup at the end.
Yeah.
And I see him sitting on the bench after that because it was a timeout. And I'm like, and they go to the camera on him. And I'm like, I actually felt sorry for him at that point because you could see he's like, how did that happen? How did I let that happen?
Yeah.
And that's what happens. Just a little thing here and there, a little crack here and there. And like Mike said, he's missed 19 straight 3-point shots. In what? The playoffs, did you say?
Yeah, that was a tweet from ESPN or something.
Isn't that something? That says something. And you said it right.
Yeah.
That's tired legs.
And then also, too, Maz, another thing about LeBron James' greatness, and also, by the way, we're going to get into the Denver Nuggets right after I make this comment because too much in this playoffs, whether it's
about the Lakers,
whether it's ESPN, who we know loves LeBron James.
Yeah.
You notice LeBron James hasn't been on TNT. You know why? Because Chuck, Kenny, Shaq, and Ernie will call it like they see it.
I never thought of that.
He ain't been on TNT.
Wow.
ESPN, the network that loves it. No, but last night with LeBron's always been amazing at the podium. Like, LeBron's always been amazing at the podium. Even when LeBron's angry,
he takes it like a man.
He's been good at the podium. He knows how to talk to the press. He'll stand for everything at the press. He'll sit in there. Even when you disrespect him, he still finds humility, and he's smooth in it. Last night, he gave an answer, and I apologize for ladies and gentlemen out there. I apologize. I can't think exactly what it was, but it was a defensive reaction to a question. Like, I've never seen, man, and I appreciate you trying to find it. I've never seen LeBron James have a defensive reaction to a question, almost to the point where it didn't even matter about what's going on in terms of him being down 0-2 or AD not playing well or him struggling at points in the game. It was almost like you guys kind of forgot what I've done and who I am. Like, they're not in trouble. It's over for them. But LeBron, it begs the question, what happens next year with that team? Now, we got to talk about
Before you leave, it's 6. Here's the teams that have been down 2-0 in a series, in a conference final.
How long is this list? 1?
6 wins, 56 losses for teams that are down 2-0. 2 of the 6 wins are LeBron. 07 and 2018. I'm still looking for that quote for you, because when you're talking about Denver, Mike Malone last night comes out. Did you see Mike Malone, the head coach?
Yeah.
He comes out in the presser. And he's like,
I love Mike Malone.
He puts it like this.
He's old school.
He is.
He's old school.
Just
and
like his
there's nothing
dad.
wrong being old school.
Like his dad.
I love Mike Malone.
He says to the press, all you guys, all you're talking about is how the Lakers lost this, or what can the Lakers do to come back, or the Lakers this and the Lakers that. Well, we're up 2-0, and no one's talking about Nikola Jokic. So I'm going to give it to you now. He's like, you don't want to talk about him? That's fine. We're up 2-0.
Well, I'll talk about him. Nikola Jokic is averaging a triple-double right now in the playoffs. He's averaging a triple-double in this series. He has been lights out. He can play the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5. He runs the ball up the court. He distributes. He gets everybody involved. Like, I was talking to a friend of mine. Shout out to Max. Yeah, everybody knows Max. Max's house. Blah, blah,
Max.
blah. What up, Max? What's going on? We're talking about him as it relates to Shaq in terms of the dominance, and we're talking about his dominance. Well, when you bring up certain names, like, people don't know they don't understand they don't understand the similarities. They don't understand how you're doing a comparison. You say Shaq, and instantly, what will people say, man? Oh, man, what? Nikola Jokic isn't Shaq.
Right.
He could never be Shaq. Well, I'm not telling you that he's Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal is the most dominant force the NBA has ever seen. But what I'm also telling you is,
so is this guy.
In Shaquille's prime, when he was in the playoff, Shaquille's averaging 33, 12, and maybe 5.
Wow.
Sound familiar? The only thing is, Nikola Jokic isn't averaging 5 assists. He's averaging 12.
Wow.
He's averaging 34, 12, and 12.
He's like a guard almost.
Nikola Jokic,
out of the 5.
Nikola Jokic is unstoppable. Like, he is unstoppable. We got to stop giving the MVP. We got to stop giving it to the sexiest player. We got to stop giving it to the guy. We got to give it to the person that we know is putting his team in the best position to win. And I'm not talking about winning 82, man.
No.
I'm talking about win when it matters.
Yep.
Where's Joel Embiid right now?
He's at
Where's
home complaining.
Giannis right now?
Home.
Where's Luka at right now?
Home.
Where are all these guys that they talk about for the MVP? All the foreigners that are amazing players. But when it gets to the postseason, Jimmy Butler shows up.
Yeah.
LeBron James shows up. Steph Curry has shown up. And Nikola Jokic is now showing up. Nikola Jokic is freaking unstoppable. He can do everything, man.
I hope they win.
And so going back to the comparison thing, when you're looking at Shaq on that run, that 99, 2002 run, when you're looking at that three-peat or even that series where they lost to the Pistons, so 4 years in a row, he wasn't playing like this. Nikola Jokic does not miss free throws, Gentry. He can shoot the three ball. He can play the point. He's selfless. He knows how to get others involved. He knows how to get you in foul trouble. He knows how to slow the game down. There's nobody better in the NBA, well, maybe Luka Doncic, at slowing the pace of the game down. He can slow the pace, and he's in better shape than your team. Nikola Jokic is special. He's special.
I'm so happy that I'm getting to watch him now because I've underappreciated him. I don't watch a lot of regular season basketball. I watch a game here and there. If there's a great matchup, I'm on it. I go see the Pistons as much as I can. I like seeing basketball live. It's my favorite sport to actually go to see. It's by far my favorite sport to watch.
It's quick and easy, understandable.
I just love it. I like going to the court, being on top of things, and I like the atmosphere of an NBA court.
Probably because it's the closest you can be.
Yeah.
NBA is the closest sport you can be for the most part.
Just don't be in the upper tier of Little Caesars because they'll look like little ants. But besides that, it's a fun game. And to watch this Nugget team, I've really taken them for granted. I am just in love with this team. Like you said, they're good. They're good 1 to 10. Yeah. They are good from 1 to 10. And there are a couple of players on this Laker team that I've really liked. I love this Austin Reeves guy. I mean, where the hell did he come from? The kid's a real baller.
Look at you going right back to the Lakers. See, you're the problem. You're with Mike. No, you're
Mike Malone.
You're with Mike.
I'm not. I'm rooting for the Nuggets. You know
Mike
that.
Malone. Let's talk. No, I'm just,
hey, I want the Nuggets to win. Not only because I don't want to see the Lakers win. I want to see the Nuggets win because I'm a historian. They are an ABA franchise. So the Spurs have won.
Yep.
The Lakers, not the Lakers. The Nets have gotten there but have not won and will not win until. I don't know what happens. The Dr. J curse is still going.
Yeah.
And now you have the Denver Nuggets with a chance to win an NBA championship. I'm rooting for them.
Well, let's get back because I got another thought on Nikola Jokic, the Denver Nuggets, and why this has taken a second to get here. So I have a thought on that.
And we got tonight's game.
We also have tonight's game. We will talk about that. Jimmy Buckets is back against the you-know-who Boston Celtics. We'll get into that series. Also, in the second hour, we got another Mike, another coach. Mike Nolan joins us, coach of the Michigan Panthers USFL team. Ours truly. And guess what? Mike Nolan was the head coach of the 49ers in 2005. First pick overall when somebody came out. We'll talk about that. But right now,
to hear that.
Man, tell me about fairway packing.
You bet. I don't know if I can do it as good as Ryan, but this is in my neighborhood.
Loves it, man.
This is in my neighborhood as well. For over 60 years, Fairway Packing Company has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry-aged beef. Experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Visit their steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods on Mack Avenue for those grab-and-go steaks that Ryan talks about and grills up all the time.
Every Thursday.
Order online at fairwaypacking.com. That's fairwaypacking.com. Fairway Packing Company in Grosse Pointe.
Aged, prime to perfection.
Yeah.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Back, Maz and Edwards having a little fun on a beautiful Friday.
Malarkey.
We weren't saying malarkey. Shout out to the breaks. The breaks are always the best. We're gonna get caught one day on the microphone. Hot mic.
You know it.
As Ryan always.
Shout out to KB.
About.
What's up, Kenny Brown?
KB, do appreciate that. So you can explain what KB sent you as it was talking about.
Oh yeah, because LeBron isn't on the TNT broadcast and I'm interviewing him.
Where they're honest.
That's right, because ESPN has the Lakers series this year, so that's why he's over there. And TNT has got the other.
You sure that's why he's over there?
Something like that.
Yeah, but coming back, we're just having I was going to say it's a beautiful Friday. Shout out to Sean Jordan over there at SMA. What's going on, Sean? How you doing, man? We're just shooting the breeze, man, talking a little Denver Nuggets, Lakers, Boston Celtics, and the Heat play tonight. You was pulling hard? You was pulling hard for the Lakers?
Keep walking.
Yeah, I'm about to say keep walking because he pulled his hamstring last night. LeBron did. But it just looked like it. One of the things that we were going to talk about, Sean Maz, the last thing I was going to say as it relates to the Denver Nuggets, people were kind of talking about Jokic in terms of, why hasn't he done this before? If you look at Jokic, it was, I want to say in the bubble, they actually played the Los Angeles Lakers, and they were beaten by them in the bubble. Jamal Murray was amazing.
I don't remember that series. I don't remember much about that whole bubble thing.
I remember Jamal Murray was lights out until the Western Conference Finals. And, what he had been doing in terms of the 50-point games, it didn't translate.
Did the Nuggets give him a fight that series or not really?
4-2.
Yeah,
4-2 or 4-1.
I don't remember anything about that.
But the one thing is after that, see, everybody gave Nikola Jokic, including myself, so this isn't me speaking from a glass house, even me. Everybody gave him a lot of crap. It was like, he got into the Western Conference Finals in 2020. Oh, where's he at now? Oh, he lost in the second round. Oh, he's lost in the second round again. The one thing people didn't give Nikola Jokic is they didn't look gentry in terms of, Jamal Murray didn't play for 2 years. Michael Porter Jr. was also injured, trying to figure it out. They just acquired Aaron Gordon last year, and he had to get acclimated to the team. Not to mention, the best thing about the Denver Nuggets not named Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, it's their bench. It's Bruce Brown.
KCP.
It's Kentavious
Bruce
Caldwell-Pope.
Brown, I heard of him.
It's Kentavious
Wasn't he here at one point? Wasn't he here a couple of years ago?
Just like Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. and the list goes on. Chris Middleton and the list goes.
Oh my God.
But they start here and then they get places.
Spencer Dinwiddie.
Well, you gotta be able to develop talent, and that was University of Michigan's problem for a very long time. They could get the 4 stars. I didn't say 5. I said 4, but they couldn't develop them. That's where Michigan has turned around now. They can develop players, and that's what you're seeing from Denver. Their bench is now developed. Nikola Jokic is the same player that he's been, but now he has Jamal Murray, an all-star, Jamal Murray, an all-pro, Michael Porter Jr., etc. The bench and all the players being healthy, that's what Nikola Jokic has missed for the better part of the last 2.5, 3 years. And that's what you're seeing is the finished product of that.
Nice.
Yeah, 100%. But there is another series, Sean, Maz, Gentry, and JB. It's the Boston Celtics versus Jimmy Buckets. And hey, you know what I got to say, Maz? I told you. Jimmy Buckets is like that when it comes to the playoffs. Maz, what do you need to see from the Boston Celtics tonight? What do they need to do to win this game?
How about show up? First of all, you're home. Show up and defend your home court. And
that's true.
I mean, these two, Brown's got to show, man. I mean, he was a no-show in Game 1. He put up 50 points in Game 7 against Philly and then no-showed against Jimmy Buckets and the Heat. The Heat's an 8 seed. They got nothing to lose. They're playing with house money. I know I like to say that a lot, but they are. It's like the Florida Panthers sneaking in as an 8. These 8s, man, this is the first time I remember in the NBA an 8 going this long.
The only other one that I remember, but they didn't make it to the conference final, was the We Believe Nuggets.
Yeah.
With Matt Barnes, Stack.
Wasn't that that wasn't Dikembe, was it?
No.
Because Dikembe made it.
No, that was the Warriors. Dikembe got put out in the Western Conference Finals, but to the Seahawks. I mean, it's the Seahawks. The Sonics.
Got it.
That was the Sean Kemp. That was the year when Gary Payton said he could have stopped Jordan.
I'll tell you, man. But tonight's game is a decider. I mean, if the Boston Celtics lose this game, it's lights out, man. Because then I got to go to Miami and sweep them back and come back home. They got to win tonight, and I think they will.
Hey, do me a favor, Gentry. Pass SJ a mic.
He's got a mic.
Are you taking off? All right, I'm just well, come on up and say what's up, man. You got the chip.
You know, it's
We apologize.
Mental Health Awareness Month.
It is because
it did a great thing for us the other day out in St. Clair.
100% Mental Health Awareness Month. Sean Jordan, SMA, who we work with greatly, picking up some sound on some audio.
Sit down, Sean.
No,
right.
go ahead. Love you, big bro. Mental Health Awareness. We'll talk about that. 100%.
Love you too, Sean.
But
Sean Jordan, SMA.
Oh man, Sean, the work that he's doing in the community, that he's been doing as it relates to mental health, as it relates to addiction, as it relates to recovery. SMA was very, very, very vital to the city as it relates to recovery during COVID-19. Want to give him his love. But going back to the Boston Celtics and the Miami Heat, this is what they need to do, man. And I wrote "show up" down because you're right. That sounds good. I do you one better. You ready for this?
Go ahead.
Who was the number one offensive team in the Eastern Conference during the regular season?
Is it the Celtics?
Oh, it's the Boston Celtics.
Regular season, you said.
Who was the number 2 seed in the Oh no, I know. Who was the number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference? The number 3 seed overall in the NBA.
Boston Celtics.
It was the Boston Celtics. Who is a team that has one of the best young superstars on it?
2 of them.
2 of the best young superstars on it, and then they got a 6-man that won 6th Man of the Year, Malcolm Brogdon, to take them over the hump. Who was that team?
That was I think the Green Machine, the Boston Celtics.
Is the deepest athletic and skillful team in the NBA. It is the Boston Celtics. Top to bottom on the roster is the Boston Celtics.
I'll take your word for it.
Who was the 8th seed in the East this year?
The Miami Heat.
Who was the worst offensive team in the Eastern Conference this year?
I'm going to guess it's the Heat.
It's not even about showing up. You're better than them, Maz. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. You're better than them. Impose your will. Can you imagine if this was 5 years ago and it was the East number 1 versus the East number 8 and they were looking like this?
It would be a blowout, 4 straight.
This is where we have these questions about young superstars. Jason Tatum, 51, closeout game, amazing, the most ever. He beat Steph Curry's from this year. He beat it, but then what happened game 1? And at the same time, he still has 30 points, man.
Yeah.
He still has the numbers, but you know when the numbers count most, Gentry?
Fourth quarter.
They count the last 4 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
That's what I need from them. I need you guys to realize that you're the better team. I need you to realize that they're playing with 4 undrafted players. They're playing with guys that.
That's amazing to me.
They're
4 undrafted players that are doing major minutes.
They're playing with
team.
guys that may not start for the Pistons.
I don't know about that.
Max Strus is going to start for the Pistons. Let's be honest.
Probably.
Nah. And I know that sounds crazy. Max Strus is not starting for the Pistons. He's not starting for the Pistons. That's the thing. It's Jimmy Butler. Cut the head off the snake.
Great leader.
He is. Cut the head off the snake, though.
Yeah, we'll see. Remember how the Knicks were playing against the Heat? And the only game they really dominated was the game without Jimmy Butler. Besides that, he took over that series.
Yeah. The second game in Madison Square Garden. Game 2.
They're dominating everybody. You can't. I don't think you could even look at talent anymore.
Yeah.
They just have it now. They have the killer instinct. They're tough. They're going to be a tough out, man. I know I said the winner of the West is going to – I think Denver will probably knock out either one of these teams, but maybe not. Maybe not. Don't count out that Heat.
No, I mean, I understand and I feel that. But with that being said, every other team in this playoffs was a team that had 2 of them dudes. Like, two of them guys. Even the play-in tournament,
all right,
you had two of them guys. Like, this is what – but no, I don't say that to poo-poo on what they're doing. I say it to give Jimmy Butler more credit. Like, there's a new conversation that Jimmy Butler has opened up, I believe, with his playoff run this year in terms of where does he rank, what is his tier. I mean, he did make All-NBA this year.
Yeah.
He was second-team All-NBA. But what he's done, this is the Western Conference Final 1 this year. He went to the Western Conference Finals last year. Eastern Conference Finals last year, and he was in the finals in 2020.
Yep.
That's all within the last 4 years.
Yeah, no doubt. Listen, I want to compare the Heat to the Lions. Sounds weird, but last year, and I've told you guys this, and I think you're all going to believe this, if the Lions made the playoffs last year, I think they were going to win at least 1 or 2 games. I swear, I really, truly believe that.
There's only
Even if they played the Eagles, I think they could have hung with the Eagles because they were red hot at that time. And this Heat team is red hot.
No, and I was going to say, like, when you first said it, I was like, oh, Lord, here comes another one of those Maz analogies that you don't understand. But, Maz, you're absolutely right. Yeah. Basically, the Heat, they got in. Their job was to get into the playoffs. They got in. Now look where they're at.
Same as the Panthers.
They're in the Eastern Conference Finals, Maz. Not only are they in it, they're up 1 game.
Yeah.
And you look at the Detroit Lions last year, the way that they played those last 10 games, 8-2, how they finished at Lambeau, they would have beat Seattle.
Yeah, they would have.
They would have beat the Giants.
They would have
beat the Vikings.
Yeah.
They would have beat the Cowboys.
You bet.
They would have beat the 49ers with their quarterback situation.
They would have.
And to your point, when they didn't have a defense, last time I checked, wasn't it like 48-45 against the Eagles in game 1?
Yep. And Seattle.
But now you have a defense.
Yep.
Now you have a defense. That's actually
I'm telling you, man.
It's actually a really good comparison.
Listen to Louis Riddick. Louis Riddick is putting his reputation on the line, saying, and he said it.
You can tell the Lions are king here because we just completely shifted to the Lions.
We're putting Lions in basketball terminology.
I love it. It's Detroit, baby.
Hot teams win. Panthers, I think they're less talented than the Hurricanes. They're going to beat the Hurricanes. The Heat,
that's a good call.
Less talented than the Celtics. They're going to beat the Celtics. They are. Yeah. And if the Lions would have gotten in last year, they would have won their first playoff game since the early 90s.
It would have been a sight to see. But the good thing is we don't have to necessarily worry about what happened last year because we know, or we at least have the inkling of what the Detroit Lions are going to do next year. Hey, there's a story. Now, I don't know how long you want to talk about this, but this is a good one. Quick, we can kill a couple seconds with this one. Caleb Love.
Yep, the kid from North Carolina that came over, transferred to Michigan.
Tell the story, man. Let's talk about Caleb Love real quick.
Well, this is a guy that played on that North Carolina team that was a hell of a team. Yeah, they didn't make the big dance this year.
No, man, they won the national championship last year, and he was a major reason.
He was a major reason. And this year they didn't make it. So what's he do? He says, I got to get out of here. I'm going to go over and play with Juwan Howard at Michigan. Not so fast. Because Caleb Love has now decommitted.
There is a Jalen that went to Michigan now.
He decommitted from Michigan due to admission issues. Now I'm going to ask you, what the hell does admission issues mean? Is that the same thing that why Notre Dame won't take a certain player?
No. Yes and no.
Did he just not get into school?
No, that's not what happened. And even though I don't know this story, I know enough about my alma mater and I know much about how it goes down. So I had a friend. I won't say a friend's name. I had a friend. Friend was in an institution that was a small D1 school, transfers to University of Michigan. I was very influential in helping him get into the school, blah, blah, blah. His grades were not necessarily that good. He didn't necessarily star in the school that he was at, but he had the right people pulling the strings and got him in there. In terms of his grades, he got in. In terms of his playing time at his other school, still got in, still got on the team, got a whatever.
Yeah.
If you have a pulse, they can get you in the school. If you have a pulse, as long as you're not out here just being, I was going to say something that's funny, but I don't want to say it. As long as you're out here doing jobber anyway, you get where I was going. As long as you're not out here just doing the worst, an institution can get you in if they believe you have talent. Yeah. And you're talking about if we believe you have talent. 2 years ago, I watched this kid help them win a national championship. Even he showed flashes again this year how good he is. The fact that he is not going to the University of Michigan is only 2 things. It ain't about grades. It ain't about some admissions issue. somebody didn't want him in the University of Michigan, didn't believe he fit the pedigree, or he may just said, Michigan ain't it.
Wow. That quick, huh? He made that decision that quick.
He probably already was in a situation where he was thinking about coming to Michigan like a while back. Then Hunter Dickinson leaves and goes to Kansas. Then Hunter Dickinson says what he says about where Michigan is at. Then it comes out that Michigan does, as it relates to NIL, as it relates to this, that, and the third. That's a real thing.
All right.
We can talk more about that.
Michigan's in trouble. Michigan hoops.
Michigan, I'm about to say Michigan hoops.
Yeah, Michigan hoops.
Not the football team. We just got back good, man.
I know.
Jeez
I'm sorry.
Louise.
This basketball.
Man, you know what? There's this truck from time to time. I know Lindsey Hunter loves it. I love it. It's good. It actually was at St. Joe's Hospital last week.
All right.
And Max was able to grab some for he and his father. Tell us about Cousins Maine Lobster.
You know it, man. We all know it. Cousins Maine Lobster and CousinsMaineLobster.com. You know what to do. Click on that QR code right on the side of that box where my head is in, and that will take you right to their site. You can download their app, check out their menu, download the schedule so you know where those two food trucks are rolling around here in the state of Michigan, of course, right here in the metro Detroit area. And if you call ahead and put your order in and go pick it up, then guess what? You start getting points. The more points you get, the more money you save. And you will be in for a treat because it is the best seafood on this side of New England. You get it right here in Detroit, USA. CousinsMaineLobster.com.
Saturdays at 1 p.m. Make sure you're watching WoodwardSports.com for our new show, Chompin' Puck.
He shoots! He scores!
With four-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty and Michael Gentry, Chompin' Puck is taking the Detroit hockey community and giving them a voice. Pros to Joes. You'll get the best Detroit hockey coverage around. Chompin' Puck. Saturdays 1 p.m. on WoodwardSports.com.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
You guys have to forgive us. There's this thing, Maz and JB, and shout out to Fletch. This is the first week that yesterday was the first show that I did without Fletch. Fletch, want to tell you, you're a huge part of what we did over the past year. Miss you, big guy. We're cheering for you. Moving forward, you will always be a part of Woodward Sports, and you'll always be a part of Bottom Line, a.k.a. Ermanni and Edwards from Maz. But part of what we do is we love gummy bears over here. JB is Blue Raspberry, or he's Sour Patch Kids. Maz and I are the Haribo.
We're whatever, man.
Although I'm transitioning out of that, and I'll tell you about that. But anyway, so it's funny when we bring them in for the shows, like we're trying to rush through the commercials, try to hurry up and get a couple down before we get into it.
I'm having one right now. Orange.
You're getting after it. Maz, well, you know, we talked enough about basketball. We know what time it is. This is the city of Detroit. We love the Detroit Lions. We love NFL. So let's get back into those Detroit Lions in the NFL. Everybody seems to be on board with the Detroit Lions in terms of what they're going to do, what they're going to accomplish. Everybody has them winning the NFC North. Everybody has them making the playoffs, and everybody has them, being that team that they saw for the last 10 games of the season. A lot of people trust and believe that. But none other than this guy right here, Louis Riddick from ESPN. Shout out to this, though, Louis Riddick.
You're already locked in on something.
Yeah, sure.
Well, I'll set this up by saying this. I said this in January. Okay?
I like it.
Right after they were done, like mopping Lambeau with the Packers. It was Detroit. Rich.
They mopped.
This team.
They mopped.
has got it going on. And I know people are going to say, what? They drafted Jahmyr Gibbs and Jack Campbell in the first round. They don't know what the hell they're doing. Yeah, they do. But they have a top 3 offensive line in all football. They have a quarterback who some people are sitting there going, did Sean get that wrong? Not to say that that Matthew wasn't great out there and they won a Super Bowl with him, but Jared Goff is no throwaway. Clearly. They have the future in Hendon Hooker. So that room just got stronger. At wide receiver, I understand that now, you're going to have some issues with depth, at least for the beginning of the season, with Jameson Williams' situation. But Marvin Jones, Josh Reynolds, Amon-Ra St. Brown, these guys, they can hold it down. They'll be just fine. Sam Laporta, who they drafted out of Iowa, I got to see him in person this past year. He's going to be one of those guys who you wind up going, another Iowa tight end that's that's up for all rookie and maybe a reserve Pro Bowler. Shocking. We've never seen that happen before out of Iowa tight end. And Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, forget it. That's one of the best one. You can put that up against any 1-2 punch of running backs in the NFL. Jahmyr Gibbs is a freaking superstar.
Lewis, I heard coming out of.
How about that?
And before I even talk about what he just said, I want to throw this out there. I have insight. Louis Riddick was part of a team. He was part of trying to become the GM for the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, we all wanted him.
Yeah. So right before they bought in Brad Holmes, he was on that. He wanted to come to Detroit. He saw what Detroit can be in terms of a city, in terms of some of the talent that they had, in terms of some of the things they could do. So he's always seen Detroit as a team that had it if the right things were in place. And man, our things are in place. Man, when you hear that, what do you think?
Well, first of all, it gets me pumped up. I like Louis Riddick. I respect the hell out of him. He's one of my faves. I love Dan Orlovsky. I like Louis Riddick.
He was
terrific.
He was a good player, too.
Terrific. He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
I like him on the broadcast as well.
Yeah.
I think he's very football knowledgeable. He didn't have to say what he says. But you know what? He's putting his you-know-whats on the table. And
he's not a clickbait guy.
No.
This isn't clickbait.
Nope.
This isn't somebody.
Every time someone talks to him, he brings this Lions team up.
True.
He sees what we all are now living and what we all see for the first time, really, in all of our lives here that are listening to the show and watching the show.
Yeah.
Except for the occasional 60-plus-year-old like me. Might be a couple of us out there. Philippines out there. He always listens to us as well. I think he's up there in age as well. But no one here that's watching or listening has ever had this feeling about a Lions team. Maybe the 2014 team really had me pumped, but they were missing something. They were missing something. They couldn't put it all together. I think it was maybe gentleman Jim Caldwell. This wasn't great in-game as a coach. He was a terrific coach. People loved him. But he ain't this guy. And Dan Campbell made mistakes. We all know. The last 2 years, he has made buffoonery mistakes. But he's getting better. Yeah. He's getting better. And I just see this team. I don't see anybody. If this team stays healthy, I think they're going to win, obviously, 1, maybe 2 playoff games going forward.
JB, get involved here. What do you think about when you hear a Louis Riddick, when you hear someone of his caliber, someone of his professionalism, when he just is glowing, talking about the Detroit Lions and talking about what he expects to see from them this year, a team that hasn't been that. What do you think when you see that?
I mean, it's a well-known name, and it just goes to show that he has a lot of faith and a lot of confidence in where he sees this team going, where he sees Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes positioning this team in the right direction. He's laying out all the tools for this team to go somewhere. I know that to start off with the draft, we had some questionable picks, but still, to see how they will work together and work with Ben Johnson in this offense, it's giving you hope. It's giving you faith that somehow, some way, this team will be in a playoff position. We will be in a playoff hunt. We will be competing for a playoff championship and be the Kings of the North, which I have predicted for a while now. So hats off to him, and I'm glad that finally everyone in the media and the sports media is now seeing that Detroit is now on notice.
Shout out to JB with the Game of Thrones reference. They are looking to be the Kings in the North. Gentry, the same. When it comes to everyone being a Detroit Lions fan, in terms of everything that you guys have been through, and I say you guys because I'm new to the fan. I legitimately didn't sign up back in the day. I love Barry Sanders. I love Herman Moore, Brett Perriman, Kevin Glover. The list goes on, but I wasn't a Lions fan. When you have the faith, when you believe, when you start talking NFC Championship, but then when you start to see guys, because there's still doubt from an in-city fan, but then when you start to see national guys talk about what that makes you feel like.
I think it's just reassuring as a Lions fan, because obviously every year we kind of go through these phases of hope, and we're like, oh, well, this is the year we're going to get better, this is that. But now when you see multiple national media sources all coming together and they're holding the Lions to this pedestal saying they're going to be so good, it's definitely reassuring.
The thing I love about that, Maz, is this. Brad Holmes knows what he's doing. Like, Brad Holmes, it seems he knows what he's doing. Now, I always say this, because you got to leave yourself and out.
Yeah.
He's got to be right. Now, he's got to be right about these picks. He's got to be right. Now, with that being said, everybody's not wrong. When you watch how in 2021, in the offseason last year, everybody said, what are you doing running it back with this team?
Yeah, we laughed.
All of us.
Yeah.
I to this day, I still don't necessarily understand it.
And then bringing back Anzalone and giving him a contract this year.
3 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? $24 million. But he saw, like, you see the draft picks, you see the players he's taking late in rounds, you see the offseason he's had this year, you see the draft. When you look at the draft, because everybody breaks it down, we keep talking about this till we're blue in the face. You got arguably the best complete secondary player in the draft. You got the best complete running back in the draft. You got the best after the catch and receiving tight end in the draft. And then in Jack Campbell, you got a player that has graded out. There hasn't been a middle linebacker grade this high in a very long time.
Or one that looks like him. Big and tall and strong.
Like, he's a mutant. And sometimes you look at a certain thing and it's like a 6'5", 4'6". Sometimes that's not a bad thing because the way in which he tests is off the charts. Look at Maz over here. Hey, shout out to you, by the way, wearing the Atlanta Braves.
I thought of you today when I put this on.
And I know you did, and that's why I got to give you some love. Everybody knows that I'm a Detroit Tiger and Atlanta Braves because I spent a lot of time in Atlanta growing up, so love those Braves. But, yeah, man, they have their finger on the pulse. You got the right guy drafting the players, and it seems that you got the right guy in Dan Campbell coaching the players, and you got the right coaching staff.
Well, you know how I feel about Dan Campbell and his coaching staff. Yeah. I'm all in on Dan. I'm all in on MCDC, and I can't wait for football. And then we're going to have head coach of the Michigan Panthers, Mike Nolan, coming up here in a minute. But when we're done with him, we're going to get back into the NFL. We have the Lions' official preseason schedule that came out, and there's a story about Frank Ragnow going around now that I don't know if you guys are going to like it, but it is what it is, and we're going to tell you about it coming up.
You know, we're a little early, but you know, hey, let's take a break and let's figure out what story we want to get to. Now, I know we're a little early on that break, but hey, who cares? It's Friday. We do what the hell we want to do. But first, man, people are looking to get cars now, man. You looking to get a car?
I might have to get two.
Well, you know what? Where are you looking to get these two vehicles from?
Honest to God, Les Stanford Chevrolet. And Les Stanford has expanded into Ferndale, a trusted name for over 50 years. Les Stanford Buick GMC. Great service, of course, that customers have come to know. Go check them out on Woodward, just south of 9 Mile. Of course, you're looking for a Chevy or a Cadillac. It's Les Stanford in Dearborn. That's who I'm dealing with right now. Find the brand you want at lesstanford.com. I mean it. Get to Les Stanford. Do it today. Tell them Maz, Ryan, and Braylon sent you.
Find those roads.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh, wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you want to know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Big Boy Strawberry Fest has officially arrived, and we're here to show you the very best flavors of the season. Satisfy your sweet tooth with our deep-fried vanilla Oreos, strawberry hot fudge cake, and a slice of our classic strawberry pie. But that's not all. Cool off on a refreshing summer splash salad, or savor the flavors of our chicken Caesar wrap and strawberry bacon chicken wrap. And for breakfast lovers, don't miss out on our strawberry hotcakes or our mouth-watering red velvet waffle. Strawberry Fest is something for everyone. Celebrate the sweet season with us at Big Boy.
Saturdays at 1 p.m. Make sure you're watching WoodwardSports.com for our new show, Chompin' Puck.
He shoots, he scores!
With four-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty and Michael Gentry, Chompin' Puck is taking the Detroit hockey community and giving them a voice. Pros to Joes. You'll get the best Detroit hockey coverage around. Chompin' Puck. Saturdays 1 p.m. on WoodwardSports.com. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Second half of the show, Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. It's Braylon Edwards and Tom Mazawey. How you feeling over there, Big Tom?
I'm good, man. It's Friday. I'm looking forward to putting the windows down when I get in the car today because I just love this kind of weather.
You might want to look outside. You ain't putting the weather down in this. It might rain on you.
Is it really? Did it get cloudy out?
Yeah.
It's supposed to rain like the rest of the day.
Yeah, that sucks.
So I might have to go close my window.
No, you better. Are you parked close?
Yeah, no, I'm right over there.
Okay.
I'm good. Windows are up. I'm just.
Hey, by the way, today was the first day I was able to drive on Woodward in the last 2 weeks coming here.
Oh, because of the
because they shut it down because they were repaving, putting down the new asphalt. So I've been having to take different kind of ways to get in here. But today my Waze said, "Oh, you can go on Woodward." What? So I came up Woodward and I picked the boys up a pizza pie from across the street.
At Tomatoes.
At Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know, JB. Did you get a chance to have a slice?
It was good. Thanks, man.
Is that
I really
a good
do
pie?
Appreciate it. It really was. I gotta appreciate it. I gotta stop by there a little bit more often now.
It's a big. I'm telling you, that's a big New York pie that they sell over there. It was really good, really tasty.
Mom and CP definitely do like that pizza. Mike Nolan will be with us shortly, head coach of the Michigan Panthers. Can't wait to get him on and talk about what the USFL has kind of brought to Detroit because there's a huge market for it, and we talked about it because I went to the game. Shout out to Big E too.
Oh, Big E!
Shout out to Big E too.
I wish Big E was right here with us today.
He's the best.
Boy, is that guy, man.
Energy is just infectious. It's great. But we went there, man. I want to say when I went to that game, it was.
So what's he do on the mic when he gets out there? Was it like The Rock when he went out there and said, "This is the XFL"? Was it like that?
Pretty much. He gets the crowd going. Like he goes out there and usually it's at the end of a quarter, maybe it's the end of the first quarter and the second quarter, definitely halftime.
So it's a good gig.
He sits. Yeah, it is. I mean, he sits in the crowd with the fans. You know, he's eating coney dog. I did have to tell him.
He don't eat no coney dogs. Actually, he did it American. Him and Grace got up to eat a Coney Island. He had a couple of them.
He got caught. He got caught on national TV. He was eating that glizzy. But that's what I had to tell him. I was like, look, Big E, if you're going to be in the city, you can't eat the glizzy like that.
Oh.
You can't eat the glizzy like that. But it'll be great to talk to Coach Nolan. I want to talk about that USFL Panthers. Also, players out of those leagues right now, whether it's USFL or XFL, are getting into the NFL. You saw the quarterback. Was it
Lewerke, Brian Lewerke.
Yeah. Brian Lewerke, Michigan State.
Ben
DiNucci.
Yep.
Ben DiNucci from the Vegas team, I want to say.
And he used to be with the Cowboys back in the day.
He did.
Now, how about the Lions? They signed that XFL kicker. That kid, Parker Romo, was his last name.
Oh, that's right.
And so they got a kicker from the XFL, the Lions, from the Brahmas, the San Antonio Brahmas. So they bring over this John Patrick Romo kid.
Yeah.
And he's
any relation?
No relation. At least I don't think so.
Romo's a very. I've never heard of another Romo.
Yeah, and there's two in football. I'll have to check that.
I've heard of Roma.
Oh, Romo, yeah, but Romo, is going to be at least kicking with. Who's our Lions kicker again? Why does that always leave my head?
Badge?
No, he's the Money Badger. Yeah, Michael Badgley, the Money Badger. So the Badger, Money Badger, is going to have some competition this year.
Well, good thing about Brad Holmes is we trust all the decisions he makes. So if he's getting a guy from the XFL, hey, you know what? It must be a guy that can kick some field goals as you see it right here. This is going to be fun.
He kicked a 57-yarder a couple of weeks ago for the XFL Brahmas.
I would hope so. He's in the NFL.
Well, he's getting a tryout with the Lions. Hey, before we do USFL, I wanted to go back to the Lions here for a minute.
Go ahead.
JB, put up the preseason schedule. Let's go over the Lions' preseason schedule right now. They made it official yesterday. We kind of saw it on schedule release night, but here it is. Here's your Detroit Lions preseason schedule. They're going to start against the New York Giants. They're going to have a week of practice with the Giants at Allen Park. So on August 11th at Ford Field, that will kick off the preseason against the G-Men. Then they'll be hosting the Jags the following week, and then they finish up at Carolina. Back in the day, it used to be the Cleveland Browns. We used to play the Bills a lot. So no Bills, no Browns on this schedule.
Yeah, they used to play Bills a lot. That's actually how Chris Spielman ended up with the Buffalo Bills, because he had relationships in terms of all their relationships, in terms of all their practices in the preseason. But I actually like this schedule. Now, I know you can't make too much about the NFL schedule as it relates to the preseason, but you look at this schedule. It's only 3 games now, which means players play in that first game. Like, this isn't like 4 games where no one plays in the first game. Players play in the first game, and then you have a lot of players that play good minutes in that second game, and then obviously there's nothing in the third. The New York Giants are a franchise. Went to the playoffs last year. They drafted well this year. Brian Daboll has done an excellent job to practice with that group for a week and then play against that group. I think that bodes well for the Detroit Lions. August 11th, you get that out the way. You get it rolling into the season. And then in the second game, you're talking about a team that a lot of people believe they're the next up as it relates to Trevor Lawrence, as it relates to the Jacksonville Jaguars, and potentially challenging for the AFC. You get a chance to play them as well.
And who beat them last year?
Who beat
the Detroit Lions? Remember in regular season?
They did.
That was Jacksonville's last loss.
That's right before they
went into the playoffs.
That actually kind of like, that was when the Lions were starting too.
Yeah,
that kind of like
they started getting rolling there.
They both started, but yeah, I like how that schedule shapes up. What do you think?
I dig it. It's just a preseason, though. I wish there was no preseason. I wish there was like one game maybe. Or actually, do you really? Let me ask you this: now that teams are practicing together, do you really even need a preseason game? Do you really need it as a pro?
You do, and you know why? Is because you need to go to situational things. Like you need.
Can you do that scrimmaging?
It's not the same. Maz is not the same. Like you can go through practices. You can do all the third. You can do you can do third down drill. You can do first down drill. You can do red zone. You can do 2 minute. You can do fourth down. You can do situational. You can do all those things. Maz, it's nothing like a dress rehearsal. When you're dress rehearsing against an organization, when you're dress rehearsing, you go out there with fans. When you got to work on your warm-up, what time you're going to get to the stadium, how many hours ahead of time, what are you going to eat, getting out there, warming up, what's going to be your routine, like how do you go through it, what are your in-game adjustments, how do you react on the fly to something on the sideline.
Yeah.
So you need that in-game reaction, like you need that training. You can do that at the practice field and all that to a certain extent. But it's just like when we talk about players that are injured. Once they come back, you can do all the running, the working out, the lifting, the sprints, the catching passes if you're wide out, the doing DB drills if you're a DB. It's nothing like putting on those pads and going through dress rehearsal.
And I know some players that really want to crack the roster. That's their chance to audition. I get that. That's where we get the Tom Kennedys of the world.
There you go.
I get it. 3, I guess, is okay. It used to be 5 when I was younger. Then it went down to 4. Now it's 3. So maybe one day when they put it up to 18 games in a regular season, and they will, this will be down to 2 preseason games.
Maz, you talked about it earlier. You talked about Frank Ragnow, center for the Detroit Lions and one of the top 5 offensive lines in the NFL.
And very highly paid, by the way, because I'm looking at his schedule here.
I think he's
$16.5 million.
I think he's the second highest paid center.
Yep.
But he's got something going on. Inform the people what Frank Ragnow is going on.
He's got a bad toe, as we know, and it's cost him a few games each of the last 2 seasons. And he has admitted this toe now is inoperable. He cannot operate on this toe anymore. It is what it is. He's going to play through the pain. Right now he says, I feel great. All it takes is what? One guy to step on your toe again to get that thing going. I think it's his left big toe. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, see, big toes, I've injured a couple of toes throughout my career, but that big toe is very different. Like when you're talking to big toe, you're talking about what it controls. You're talking about running, stepping, planning, stepping forward, moving laterally. That big toe is a huge part of that. But now, Maz, here we go. When we started in off season, when we started our list of
Free agents.
Unrestricted free agents
Yep.
that the Detroit Lions needed to bring back. One of the guys that I had on there was Evan Brown.
You bet.
Evan Brown played tremendous for Frank Ragnow in 2021. I think he was an alternate.
He was.
For the Pro Bowl. I think he was a 1, 2, third alternate for the Pro Bowl. Played amazing. That was a guy that I wanted on their team, and this is one of the reasons why.
And where did he go? He went to the Seattle Seahawks. But they went out and re-signed Graham Glasgow, who is terrific. You know, he's a good player. He's going to make just under $3 million this year. But the rest of the team, you got Ragnow at $16.5. Jonah Jackson's going to make $3 million. Vitai's going to make $5. Glasgow just under $3. Then you got Stenberg at $1.1. Awosika's making $870,000. Piersbacher's making $1 million. And Darren Polo is making $750,000. That's right now your interior offensive line for the Lions. So what we try to tell you, everybody, and we've been preaching the Jared Goff contract, which is going to be coming due. You got to pay your receiver. You got to pay Amon-Ra St. Brown one of these days. All these things. Penei Sewell, you got to pay him. He's still on a rookie contract, but that's coming due, and he's going to get paid, man. That's why we say how important it is to not pour too much money into one position, because guess what? You got to pay the piper. Right now, like Louis Riddick says, top 3 offensive line in the NFL. But to keep that line together, it's going to cost you money.
Yeah, the bill will come due. 2 things. One, Amon-Ra St. Brown is going into year 3.
Yeah.
Amon-Ra St. Brown is a 5th round draft pick.
Fourth
round draft pick. He's going into year 3.
Overachieved.
He almost had 1,000 yards his rookie year. Last year he was well over 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns, I do believe, over 100 catches. What's it look like to pay Amon-Ra St. Brown right now?
I don't think he could do it right now. Even though they got about $25 million in cap space, you can't just rip his contract up yet. I don't think he's a squeaky wheel right now.
You can extend.
Yeah, you can. But I don't know if you want to do that right now. If I'm going to extend anyone, it might be Penei Sewell.
Penei Sewell is another guy. But
you still got time.
But you got a 5th-year option on Penei Sewell as a first-round draft pick.
Yeah, but they're not going to let it go that far.
I know that, but 2021, I'm saying, am I right? You can pay him now, and you won't have to pay him as much as you may have to pay him after next year.
Maybe.
And you still got money to do it. Just speculation.
Yeah, they got time.
Let me throw something else out there for you.
Yeah.
And I heard this. Was it the Athletic?
Okay.
Or it was either Athletic or maybe just U.S. News. It popped up on my phone. What's it look like to bring in DeAndre Hopkins this year?
Oh, man.
And the reason I asked that, obviously, Jameson Williams' first 6 games, he'll be suspended. The Arizona Cardinals aren't going to probably be able to move him. They're going to have to just release him. So that way
keep him.
Nah, they'll release him because I think they saved $8.9. They saved $8.9 million under cap. What's it look like to pay DeAndre Hopkins for one? I
don't think they're going to sign a guy like him, Bray, but hell, I don't think there's anyone on this chat or anyone on this desk that wouldn't want to have him.
For 1 year? They might be.
Is he a Lion guy?
But you're talking about one. Let's get back into that.
We will. Let's take Coach Nolan's going to be waiting for us right now.
Let's take a break. Let's get to Mike Nolan, coach of the U.S. Panthers and the USFL Michigan Panthers. Let's get to him. But first, message from Planet Fitness.
All right. Be fit.
Judgment-free zone where you can work out for just $10 a month. But right now, Planet Fitness is thrilled to allow high schoolers ages 14 through 19 in the U.S. and Canada to work out for free all summer long, all the way up until August 31st. Teens can register right now and get access to the club with registration open all month, all through the summer months until August 31st as well. And not only is Planet Fitness allowing this high school summer pass, but they're also giving away over $200,000 to high schools and students. Teens ages 14 through 19 who register for the summer pass can help win a scholarship for their school and participate in a TikTok video for a chance to win academic scholarships. Visit the landing page for more information and legal disclosures at pfsummerpasscontest.com. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Essential.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
At work and at home. We're there with smarter security solutions, featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Welcome back to the second hour. Ermanni and Edwards with Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazawey here, enjoying a not so beautiful Friday, but it's Friday, so I don't think it could be a bad Friday.
No, there's no such thing.
There's no such thing, especially when you have Coach Mike Nolan, Michigan Panthers, USFL. Mike, how are you doing, Coach?
I'm doing well. Thank you, guys. Looks like you guys have a good time every Friday, huh?
Hey, we try, Coach. We try, man.
We try. Hey, Coach, before we get rocking and rolling, man, and we talk about the Michigan Panthers and what you guys are doing, the excitement that you guys are bringing to the city. In 2005, I took 3 visits in the NFL. One of them was for the number 1 pick overall, which was San Francisco 49ers. Coach, how you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing well. That's a long time ago.
It is.
I barely remember.
It is. I have facial hair and I'm 40 now, man. I'm not even in my 30s.
It took Alex
anymore.
Smith, by the way.
It was the right move. I understand. No ill feelings. Coach, the Michigan Panthers, they come back bringing in a time right now where football is very big, with the Detroit Lions doing football is king, University of Michigan, and the Michigan Panthers came. I went to the game 3 weeks ago against the New Jersey Generals, I want to say, and the love, the fan, like the excitement. The Michigan Panthers and the USFL are for real, Coach. Talk about being the head coach of that team.
I tell you, it's really exciting. But you're right, that first game, and even since then, the last couple games, I know we've lost them and all, but the fans have been terrific. They've been excited, making noise. They've been outstanding. But look, it's exciting to be here. The guys are a great bunch of guys, and we're just trying to build something. And hopefully this week we get back on track.
Hey, Coach, I am an old timer. So I remember your dad patrolling the sidelines for the 49ers, that handsome guy. I remember Dick Nolan back in the day, and here you are. And I remember Dick Nolan always wore his Sunday clothes on Sunday. And I know you tried to bring that back to the NFL when you were in the NFL. No such thing anymore in this day and age. Am I correct there, sir?
No, I don't think they'll allow it. I was actually, they had what it basically comes down to is the sideline apparel for the coaches is a lot of money, and they didn't want to disrupt that at all. So they weren't really willing at first, but they got so much. They had such a backlash and such. There was a lot of positive reinforcement for what I was trying to do and wear a suit. So they allowed me to do it, and so I wore it. And then Jack Del Rio started to do it as well.
He did.
And so the two of us wore suits on the sideline. But naturally, when I ceased to be a head coach anymore, they pretty much dropped that and didn't allow anybody to do it anymore.
Hey, besides Dad, and I know Dad was your idol, what other coaches did you look up to back in the day? Was it a Tom Landry, a Chuck Noll, Don Shula? Who was your stable of head coaches?
Yeah, I think you just about named it just then. The guy that I really admired. The guy that I really admired, there was a guy that I worked for, in Dan Reeves. Dan Reeves was my mentor, and he wore a suit on the sideline as well. Did. And just a first class, and a great coach over the years. I mean, he should be in the Hall of Fame. It shocks me that he's not. I mean, there's it's amazing that he's not in there. But anyhow, hopefully soon he gets in. But he was a great coach, and that would be Dan Reeves would be the one person that would come to mind that was my mentor, as well as just one of the great all-time coaches.
It's funny that you mentioned Dan Reeves. Just the other night, it was Wednesday night, I'm home. I flip on the NFL Network. What do they have on? The 1986 AFC Championship game. The Broncos with John Elway, the drive against Cleveland. And I watched that game in its entirety again. I loved it. It just took me back. And Dan Reeves, tremendous coach and quarterback.
He really is. Yeah, that's the year. Right after that game, about 2 weeks after that game, is when I went to Denver. They lost the Super Bowl, and then right after the Super Bowl, I joined. I was 6 years in college, and then I joined the That's when Dan Reeves hired me, and so I worked with him for about 10 years following that, and
awesome.
they were a great 10 years, to be honest with you.
Sure were.
Hey, Coach Nolan, I apologize. Look, Maz is our resident old guy. He likes to talk about the past a little bit. I'll bring it to the now. If you, I'm just joking. It's my guy over here. Coach Nolan, talk about the different types of personalities that you have in coaching the Michigan Panthers. Talk about the guys on that team, because I can imagine there are guys that want to use this to get to the NFL. There are guys that want to use this because this is their last hope and they just want to play football. Talk about being able to coach these different personalities, and how is the locker room?
You know, that's a great question, because we've got a tremendous amount of guys that have really interesting stories. I mean, most all of them have had a try in the NFL. Whether they played in the NFL or just tried out, they've been on practice squads and they're trying to get back to the NFL. There's a real need in the NFL for our league, to develop guys so that they can get back into it, because otherwise there really is nothing after college. If they don't make it first try out in the NFL, a lot of times they're done. And we kind of supply that opportunity for them to get back to it. But as far as the players go, like I said, there's a tremendous amount of stories that are really interesting with these guys, not just having to do with the fact they tried the NFL and missed out, but just a lot of personal things, a lot of trials and tribulations, and a lot of adversity these guys have faced over the years. And it's fun to be their coach. It really is. Their heart and soul is into football. And they're actually very active in the community. We got a great bunch of guys as far as the community goes. They've been out all the time and trying to be a part of what's going on outside of just the football team. And I think they're doing a great job as well with that.
Yeah, and these guys are lucky, Coach Nolan, to have somebody like you in terms of your great cachet as a coach at the pros, at the coach on every level, especially as it relates to the defensive side of the ball. So they're very lucky to have you. Speaking of the Michigan Panthers, you guys haven't won a game yet, but you guys have been in games.
They won the first two, but they lost the last three.
I meant the last three.
Yeah, the last three at home.
Exactly, and I went to the game.
Yeah.
But exciting. The games are exciting. There are plays there. What are you guys away from being a competitor at this level right now?
Well, like you said, we won the first two, then we've lost the last three. We just got to get back on track. We haven't been playing. I would say at times we're our own worst enemy. The first 2 weeks we took the ball from the opponent, we secured it on offense, and we didn't give it away. In the last 3 weeks, we've been just the opposite. We've given the ball away, and we really haven't taken it away as often as we want to. We need to be able to win a game that's a game that's where both teams, whether both teams are turning it over, both teams are not, but an equal game, that's going to tell us a lot more about ourselves. Right now, we're kind of like I said, we shoot ourselves in the foot from time to time, and we got to get out of that. And hopefully this week we do that. We're playing a very good team in Birmingham Stallions, and like I said, it'll be a real challenge for us, but hopefully we're up for the challenge.
A lot of the people in the chat, Coach, they support the Michigan Panthers. They've actually been to games as well. Tell these people that haven't been to games, tell the people that don't know about the Michigan Panthers, who are a couple players that they should be watching out for? Who are a couple players where you're like, hey, if I were you, I'll watch out for this guy?
Well, our running back, Reggie Corbin's a guy that I believe he led the league last year in rushing or all-purpose yards. Right now, he's the number one all-purpose yards guy in the USFL. So Reggie's having a good year in that regard. I think that just our skilled players alone, we got a very good tight end in Baugh. We've got some very good, exciting outside receivers. So that's good. On defensive side of the ball, we got the sack leader in Braylon Speaks. We got the interception leader in Frank Ginda, our linebacker.
Nice.
So we've got some individuals that are doing a good job. Just as a football team, we got to get back in their winning ways, and that's always fun to watch. But look, at the game's an exciting game, like you already mentioned. And you get to watch guys that you can follow from here and hopefully back into the NFL if that be the case. So it's really a good game, and it's very affordable for people to come. You can bring your family and spend your money on food rather than spend your money on tickets, and get to watch a professional football game on Ford Field. And that's got to be something a lot of people can't afford to do when it comes to Detroit Lions, but you can do it in the USFL, and it's well worth it. The entertainment is outstanding, I believe. Coach
Nolan is absolutely correct. Tickets start as low as $10. You can go in there and get a hot dog, get some popcorn, you can get a soda, and you can enjoy fast and a great brand of football. Coach Nolan, you talked about the players, and I asked, you know what? Somebody told me about those players, and his name was Big E. Talk about what it's meant to have Big E as an MC for the Michigan Panthers, getting that crowd going, getting you guys pumped up at Ford Field. Big E's been in studio. He's a friend of mine, great guy. Talk about having Big E with the Michigan Panthers.
Yeah, well, my first time meeting Big E, he came out to practice about 3 weeks ago before our home opener. And the players really engaged with him. He engaged with the players very well. I want to give Big E some more to get the fans going over. Right now he's working overtime some of the time until we get a victory. But look, he's outstanding. The guys love him, and like I said, hopefully we can give him a lot more reasons to get excited during the game.
This Saturday, Coach, it's a good theme. It's the Hats Off to Heroes theme. They're going to be honoring local, everyday heroes like police officers, military veterans, firefighters, first responders, medical professionals, and teacher. Game kicks off at 4 o'clock. Tell us a little bit what that means to you to have such a great topic here for the USFL.
Well, I'll say this, all those people that you just mentioned, all those organizations and all the people that basically take care of us, whether it's at home or abroad for that matter, it's you got to show your appreciation, in my opinion, to those people. And I think it's just a small way that we can do it at home, but I think it's the right thing to do. It's the right way to do it. We certainly appreciate those people, and naturally, I believe everybody on the outside is. So the more we can recognize all the people that do those things, like you said, whether it be teachers, firemen, policemen, military people, all of them, and there's even more to mention. Forgive me if I didn't, bring them all up. But anyhow. Yeah. That's just part of it, and I think one of the great things about professional athletics and sports is that you do have a platform with the opportunity to recognize those people for what they do, and that's exactly what we're trying to do this weekend at home.
Hey, Coach, before I let you go, I got to ask you about the early 80s version of this USFL. I was a big fan, still am. It had a lot of history. It's a different league, obviously. That was a league that was like an AFL, trying to be an upstart, trying to merge in with the NFL. It didn't work, but a lot of those players on the USFL are in the NFL Hall of Fame now. What do you remember about the original USFL?
Well, what's interesting for me is that's right about the USFL started about 2 years after I had graduated from college, and I played at the University of Oregon, and then I tried out the Denver Broncos. I was cut, but if that league had been in place a couple years prior, I'd have been fighting like heck to get in that league and just to play football. Whether I could make it in the NFL or not didn't really matter to me. I just when you're that age and you're young and you can still play a game for a living, I mean, you don't have to grow up. You could stay a kid as long as you're playing. Look, everybody loves you. You make good money. And it's it's only but half the year you gotta work for it. So what I remember about it was the excitement that went with it at that time. It was a spring league like you just talked about, just like ours is, trying to get it going. The problem it had was it was trying to compete with the NFL, and that's really not what we're doing. We're trying to be more of a for lack of a better term, a farm league kind of for the NFL. I mean, we're trying to develop the guys that go up into that, and so and I think there's a lot of entertainment, a lot of excitement. And it's an opportunity, like I said earlier, it's a very affordable opportunity for people to see a professional football game and players that are up and coming at a dollar that they can afford. And so it's really good.
Hey, I'm a huge football fan. It's my favorite sport, bar none. I would not mind seeing in the future the USFL champion taking on the XFL champion. Somehow, some way, those leagues, the CFL, whatever it takes, man. I just want to see more football, and the USFL has given that to me. And God bless the USFL. I hope everybody makes it and enjoys their career and goes on to bigger and better things. Whatever it has for you guys.
I'm all for the more teams and more jobs, but I'm hoping that all those XFL players come to us in the future.
There you go. All right, I'm with you then. If that's the deal, I'm with you.
Well, you heard from here. 2 and 3, the Michigan Panthers are. You can catch them at Ford Field tomorrow. Coach, I think you guys are going to pull this one out, man. It's been exciting, but I got some good energy about tomorrow. I think you guys are going to pull this out, Coach Nolan.
Thanks for coming on, Coach.
Coach Nolan, good talking to you. Thanks for coming on. We appreciate
Coach.
you.
We'll see you at Ford Field.
We will.
All right. Always a pleasure. Thank you.
Always a pleasure. And actually, those games are fun. Yeah. Coach Nolan, thanks for Coach Nolan for coming on, man. Definitely great energy on him. But those games are fun. They're exciting. And, man, as I'm telling you, 10,000 people at the game I went to. I walked in. There was also a Tigers game. Now, we know there hasn't been a ton of traffic at the Tigers game, but to go past Comerica Park, to go inside of Ford Field, and to see 10,000 people at Ford Field lets you know football is king.
The only thing missing would have been a retractable dome. Open that sucker up and let them play.
Don't get me started. I couldn't believe in 2000 and freaking
How do you not do that?
Because I think it was 02. I think it was 02 when Ford Field opened up.
Yeah,
01 or 02.
2001.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it wasn't retracted.
I know.
I couldn't believe it was retracted. Whatever. We'll come back. We'll react about that. And also, it is Fill in the Blank Friday.
I got some questions.
Know what? Let's get to Fill in the Blank Friday. But
Let's
first, a message for Lady Jane's.
Lady Jane's haircuts for men. That's right. We are right here. I'm looking right through the glass. Now I get to see what you guys get to see. Usually my back is to that window, and this is a much better view, I must add. Walk into any Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience. Automatically enter for a chance to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right. 2 cars. That's got my name on it, but I'm not eligible for this.
Ooh.
1 for you and 1 for your wife, your girlfriend, your best bud, your daughter, your son, whatever. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh, wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m. Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Hey, when we went to commercial break, we got some news. The great, arguably the best NFL football player of all time, Jim Brown, has passed away at the age of 87.
God bless you, Jim.
Jim Brown, arguably the best running back of all, the best player of all time. Things that he was able to do in terms of where segregation was, in terms of where the civil rights, in terms of where inclusion was not at the time that he was coming up, whether it was on the football field or whether it was in acting, because he was an actor with over 32 movies to his credit. Just a great man. Even from that to the stuff with Muhammad Ali, in terms of that coalition to decide if Muhammad Ali really was trying to dodge the war, or was he really true about the Nation of Islam, which we now know.
It was him, Malcolm X, Jim Brown,
Kareem
Muhammad Ali.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And who was the singer?
I got him, Sam Cooke.
Sam Cooke. They all met in that one night in Miami. That's what it's called. One night in Miami.
And and I actually know Jim Brown well. And obviously I know I did not play in the 60s and the 50s. And this is the picture. This is from our good friend Ari Mayroff. Sad news, legendary Browns running back Jim Brown has passed at age 87. Like I said, ripped to not one of the greats. I mean, to me, it's Jerry Rice and Jim Brown. Like, I won't even entertain anybody else, and that's just me. You can say what you want to. It's Jerry Rice and Jim Brown for me. But when I got to Cleveland, Maz, the Cleveland Browns hired Jim Brown on staff to be the go-between guy. So basically, the players could talk to Jim Brown. Jim Brown could talk to ownership and management. Ownership and management could talk to Jim Brown. Jim Brown could relay those messages to players. So you're talking about from 2005 to 2008. I've had many of conversations.
Yeah, you're lucky.
Not all of them good conversations. Yeah. Jim Brown was one of those guys.
Did he young man you? Listen, young man.
Shit, young man, my ass. He grabbed me by my collar one day. But it was funny. I used to play this game with Jim. He didn't know I was playing a game. It was just me. Because Jim Brown's neck was so stiff from, you're talking no pads. You're talking bare minimum pads. He couldn't move his neck. And so I used to play in golf outings with him all the time, and then I would do like on-site community service events with Jim. Jim moves like this. Huh? Hey, hey, 17. Hey, Edwards. Where's Edwards at? Edwards.
Oh, man.
So what was funny is I just would always move just a little bit to opposite which way he was turning. And one day he caught on at a golf outing, and I was doing it. And he was, hey, now what you want to do? No, on your shot, on your... God damn it, that was weird. He was mad.
That's awesome, man.
Excuse my French.
That is awesome.
Yeah, man. But to be able, like, I've had a great life. I've had a blessed, a privileged life. Thank God. Like, to be able to have the stories with Jim Brown and sitting in his office and him teaching me how to play chess.
You're so lucky.
Yeah, man. So rest in peace to not one of the greats, man. It's him or Jerry Rice. I know
the Detroit fans will know this story.
Yeah.
Barry Sanders' father.
Yep.
Okay.
I know where you're
Mr.
going.
Sanders. He always say, "Yeah, my son's great, but
he ain't better than Jim Brown.
He ain't better than Jim Brown. Jim Brown is the greatest running back of all time." That's what Mr. Sanders would say, Barry's dad. And hats off to Jim Brown. Hats off to a guy that you would tackle him, and he would barely get up, and he would like limp back to the huddle.
It was all a ploy.
All a ploy.
It was all
then
the
you
game.
give him the ball, and he'd be gone 80 yards before you know it.
Because you as a defensive player was like, yeah, I got this guy exactly where I want him. And then when the ball snapped and this guy comes at you full speed again, you're like, whoa, where'd all this energy come from? Jim Brown was the same size as defensive linemen in his era. Just think about that,
they were
man.
a lot smaller then.
Yeah. Jim Brown's 6'2.5", 6'3", 240, 235.
He was like a bowling ball.
So shout out to, not shout out, I hate using that, the wrong word. Rest in peace.
Godspeed.
Rest in peace to
Jim Brown.
To OG and
I'll tell you what, I'm going to be digging up for his 30. I'm going to dig up his football life tonight.
Yeah,
I'm going to watch Jim Brown's football life because last night I watched Mean Joe Green's.
How much stuff? When do you sleep?
I watched it before.
When the hell do you
like
sleep?
In between periods, I'm like, I'm not going to wait here. I'm going to flick on my NFL network and I'm going to watch.
Between Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul and
I love TV.
TV
TV is my love. I love it.
I do the same. So
but I love Mean Joe Green got a great story, man. A great story.
Hey, Mean Joe. Hey, Mean Joe.
I'll tell you, man.
Was it a Coca-Cola commercial?
That was Coca-Cola.
That was Coca-Cola.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure was. Have a Coke and a smile.
That was original.
And then Jim said, "Hey, kid." And he threw him the
jersey was bigger than him.
Big Joe Green threw him the jersey.
Man, that put a damper on things. But Maz, you know what can wake things up?
I know.
Fill in the blank Friday.
All
Maz,
right.
I will let you take over this one. Fill in the blank Fridays with Tom Mazawey.
Mike G, find some music. Put a little music bed under us. We're all going to play this, by the way. Everyone have their mic on. The chat, you too. I try to mix up everything a little bit today. I know you guys say, "Hey, man, switch up your questions. Stop asking the same crap." All right, so I'm going to start off with the NBA. Here we go. Braylon, you're first. We're going to go around the room.
Okay.
Blank and blank will play in the NBA Finals.
Nuggets and Boston. It pains me to say Boston. You know why I'm choosing Boston.
It's okay.
Even with playoff Jimmy, even with winning game one, even what they've done, the Boston Celtics are so much better than Miami Heat. I think they figured it out. I guess I'm hoping. I think they're supposed to figure it out. I'm going Nuggets.
Okay. And Celtics.
Boston.
JB, same to you. Blank and blank are playing in the NBA Finals this year.
I will take the Miami Heat and the Denver Nuggets.
Okay, you're sticking with the Nuggets.
Ooh, there
All
you
right,
go.
Good enough. Mikey G, what do you got?
I'm going with Braylon here, Nuggets and Celtics.
Nuggets and Celtics for you?
Yep.
I'm going to go Nuggets and Sixers and the Heat.
Okay.
I believe in the Heat. I'm telling you, I'm loving these 8 seeds. I'm sticking with the 8. So when we go to the next question, you already know what I'm picking. I'm going to Jeremy first. Blank and blank will play in the Stanley Cup Final. Jeremy? Do we even know who's playing in the West?
I don't. You got to give me.
I'm going to go to Braylon first then.
All right.
I'm going to go to Braylon first. Do you even know who's playing in the West? I'm sorry. Who's playing in the Cup Final, Bray?
See, now I'm going to say the Panthers and the Stars. Now I'm going to say Panthers and Stars.
Okay. You got Panthers and Stars.
Panthers and Stars.
Okay. Gentry.
I'm agreeing with Braylon again here.
Yes!
Braylon's reading my mind, but I'm going same thing.
Hey,
I'm
hold on.
I'm riding the Panthers wave, and
I thought you were going to take the Canes.
I don't know, man.
All
Just
right.
like I'm riding the wave, like the Panthers are playing so
You
hot
let
right
me
now.
sucker you into that, don't you?
Yeah, you kind of did sucker me into
Wait,
that.
are the
honestly.
Kraken still in it?
No, they're cracked in Game 7. You got the Knights against the Stars in the West.
Can I say one thing real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
The fact that our resident hockey guy,
Yeah.
MG, gave me props and said he chooses what I choose as well. You know what?
You feeling good?
I feel good today.
Good.
That's my Michigan man
Like,
right there.
I feel damn. It almost would. It would be the same as if Chris Pratty was in here and he approved my NBA pick.
All
so I
right.
appreciate you, MZ. I'm feeling really good today.
All right, before we go to Jeremy, I'm going to read some off the chat. We have...
Get the chat involved, man.
We got Patrick Ofaria, the Panthers in Vegas. We got Denver
I like
Blair.
that.
Bray says Vegas. No, okay.
I like that.
Nicholas Duncan's got Dallas. The other, Jason the Moose, has got Carolina and Vegas. How about that? Patty Grimes, Florida and Dallas. Mikey G, Panthers and the Knights. All right, JB, what do you got?
Give me the Panthers and the Knights. I like
Okay.
that. I like that.
I got Panthers and Stars as well. Panthers and Stars for me. Okay, now this one you guys got to think about.
Okay. I'm thinking.
You ready? Blank is the greatest sports event. Blank is the greatest sports event. Could be any event,
Oh, I already know my
any
answer.
sport.
I already know my answer.
Go.
The Olympic 100 meter dash.
Okay.
The Olympic 100, and I'm
You
football
go with
guy.
Usain Bolt.
Well, it for me it started before Usain Bolt, but yeah, like
Who to start with?
for me, started with Ben Johnson.
Okay.
Started with Ben Johnson, obviously steroids,
Yep.
Carl, whatever. But then obviously Maurice Green
Yep.
took over, and then Donovan Bailey.
How about Carl Lewis?
I love Carl. Carl Lewis is one of the greatest athletes of all time.
He
But
is.
Carl Lewis is.
If he didn't sing that national
he's
anthem,
hella
he'd still be
sus.
on the top.
Yeah, he blew the national
He did.
anthem.
He blew that thing.
He said, hold on, I'm gonna make up for it. Hold on, I'm gonna make up for it.
Hold on.
That was actually in D.C.
That was against the Nets.
No, that was. I meant. I was.
Derek Coleman could not stop laughing.
What? Derek Coleman. What are the initials?
DC.
That's what I was thinking.
There you
I
go.
was thinking,
Remember the Nets uniforms? They had the tie dye.
The tie dye,
They
like
had
the
tie-dye.
fade, like the
Yep.
fade, like the white to
fade.
blue fade.
Petro was in that team.
But for me, like
Drazen Petrovic.
You're talking about individuals and whatever, but you're talking about individuals like they train like 15 years, 12 years, 100 years. They train all that time, not 100 years, but they train all that time for 9.8 seconds. They train all that and all those flashes. It's nothing for me like the 100-meter dash.
So that's it for you.
It's the 100-meter dash.
I'm shocked.
It's not even close. It's the 100-meter dash.
You picked that over the World Cup,
100-meter dash.
the Super Bowl,
100-meter dash.
the Masters,
100-meter dash.
JB, what's your choice?
100-meter
Blank
dash,
is the
man.
greatest sports event.
I'm torn here because I really want to say the Super Bowl, but Braylon, you know me too well for this. It's
Wrestling,
WrestleMania.
baby. I knew it.
It is
WrestleMania.
Oh,
There's
for crying
nothing
out
beating
loud.
it.
Yeah, that's.
Are you kidding?
The only reason why I didn't say it said sports event, that's sports entertainment. So I said, I'm messing with you. I mean, hey, WrestleMania, like, you say what you want to, Maz. You know about WrestleMania 3.
I know. I don't want to hear about it.
You know about WrestleMania 3.
Yeah,
What
I
was
know.
WrestleMania 3?
I was in the Silverdome.
What happened in WrestleMania 3?
I don't know. Did Hulk win?
Exactly.
Okay.
Which lets me know ain't nothing wrong with JB's answer.
Nothing wrong with it as long as you think it's the best.
Yeah, it's
That's
true.
what this means. That's what this question is.
100-meter
Whatever
dash.
you mean in your heart, that's the answer to this thing.
You can talk with the Super Bowl, you talk about it until next Super Bowl.
Okay.
That 100-meter dash, you're talking about that for 4 years.
All right, Mikey.
I'm going the easy answer, the Super Bowl, but I would also like to say like Olympic hockey. When they did the thing with Team North America and they had Connor McDavid and all those guys playing on one team against, that was like some real entertaining shit. So I'm still going to go the Super Bowl because football's king. The Super Bowl, I have a big party every year at my house. So it's got to be that.
Okay.
But
You're picking that?
Yeah. Is that what you're going to pick, Maz?
No, I'm not going to pick that.
What are you going to pick, like World Baseball Classic or something?
No, I'm not going to pick the World Baseball Classic. Can't you guys think what I'm going to
Kentucky
pick?
Derby?
Oh, man.
You got it.
I knew it was going to be something like
You got
that.
it. You got it.
Kentucky
And the
Derby.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And the Super Bowl. Let me read some from the chat. Mike G, Super Bowl. Denver Blair, Super Bowl. Patrick O'Ferry, no, he didn't pick. Adam Morency. He's with Mike G and Braylon. on this one. Alex Haggerty picks the Super Bowl. Nicholas Duncan, a heavyweight boxing championship. That's always good. Patty Grimes, the Little League World Series. The Super Bowl. Here's one. Denver Blair, the Lions draft.
Hey, for a long time, that was the event here in Detroit.
Joe B picks the Olympics.
Hey,
how about that?
You know what? Maybe I just. But when you say Olympics, is it Summer Olympics or is it Winter Olympics, or do they count on the Winter?
I think it counts all together.
They're different. They're different.
They are different.
They're different,
but they're still great. How about our man, the Booner Sports Show, Super Bowl and Daytona 500 and the Masters he's got.
The Masters.
Hoof Hearted has got the World Cup final, which was unbelievable this year.
Mbappe versus Messi, the GOAT.
Yep.
You know, all those are great, and you really can't go wrong with any of those. But shout out to Booner, because I'm going to tell you like this. He has a point, and this is why. When the Masters comes around in April, Thursday, starting at 11:17, I'm locked and loaded from Thursday 11:17
even without
to
Tiger?
Sunday. even without
Not
Tiger
me.
to 6:45. I'm locked on Sunday. I'm locked and loaded.
100%.
I won't do anything. Side note, even when I'm here with you guys, I'm really watching.
I know you are. I know you are.
I'm like watching I'm watching the Masters like on Thursday and Friday. I'm like,
whatever you
the
said,
Lions
Ryan.
should draft Jack Campbell.
Yeah, keep talking, Maz.
Yeah,
Keep talking. Hey, before we go to a break,
Go ahead.
I have got the winner of our Woodward Sports and Swiss Insurance Jahmyr Gibbs jersey giveaway.
Oh, wait, I can't win that jersey?
You're out.
I want the jersey.
The winner is, you won't believe this name, Keith Jackson.
Oh.
Keith Jackson
Look at that.
Jr. from Bossier City,
Nelly.
Louisiana. How about that?
Yeah. Shout out to
Keith
our
Jackson
fans
Jr. from
around
Louisiana.
the country.
Keith, if you're watching live, we appreciate
all our
your
fans.
support, and everyone else who participated in the giveaway. We appreciate you all as well. We'll have another jersey giveaway dropping soon. Make sure you keep an eye out on social media for your chance to win another. But Keith Jackson Jr. of Louisiana is bringing home the Ja, and that's what we're going to call him.
Yeah,
Ja Gibbs.
No.
Jersey.
Listen,
he goes by Ja.
He better drop
But
that.
J-A-H.
He better go by Jahmyr here. We won't hear nothing about no Ja. Listen, everything in Memphis ain't Ja's fault, but I know his name is Jahmyr.
Jahmyr.
We don't want to even
though he's got a necklace that says Ja.
So what? I'm still calling him Jahmyr.
That's fine. We got more.
Hey, his mama call him Jahmyr. I'm calling him Jahmyr.
That's fine. I'm with you.
Mama call him Jahmyr.
We'll see. We've got to get him on the air and see what he prefers.
All right, cool. Yo, man.
Right, we got more questions coming back after the break.
We got more questions?
I do.
How many more breaks do we got? The last one?
I think this is it. I don't know.
Well,
one more?
Let's make this
two more? Whatever.
We got one more, two more. Hey, look, it's our show. We do what we want to. We'll see you guys back in about 30 seconds. Don't go anywhere.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
All right, man. You say you got two more questions, and I looked
Two more fill in the blanks.
You got some interesting ones, man.
I do. All right, here we go. We got two more questions for you guys in the chat. You guys get on this now. Ready? This is a two-part question. Blank is the best baseball movie. Blank is the best baseball movie. Who wants to go first? I'll go first. You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Or you want to go first?
I'll go first.
Go ahead.
So what I was saying during the break, and I saved it for when we came back, is it's cheating to ask baseball. You know why? Because baseball movies, in my opinion, are the best sports movies. They're the best sports movies. They don't get me wrong. I love football. Football is my sports. I think the program and Any Given Sunday are 1 and 2. There's some great basketball movies. Miracle on Ice. Kurt Russell did an amazing job. With hockey, obviously, you have the Mighty Ducks, etc.
Yep, best movie ever.
But there's no comparison when it comes to baseball. You truly know that baseball used to be America's pastime because they're the best. Now, with that being said, it's Major League and For the Love of the Game for me.
Oh, wow. Kevin Costner.
Major League. I got to do 2. I'm sorry. Major League and Love of the Game.
Okay.
And football program Any Given Sunday.
I didn't give the football one out yet. No. I just did baseball right now.
But it says blank and blank.
I know, but you just blew my second part now.
Wow. But it says blank and blank.
Okay. What's your football ones?
My apologies.
What's your football ones?
Any Given Sunday. Remember the Titans. That's too many.
Pick one.
I'm sorry. I'm a football player. All right.
I'll come back to you.
Program.
Oh my God. Are you kidding?
I remember I remember what the program made me feel like when it came out in 1994. Like, program was amazing.
JB, you got a baseball movie and a football movie for me?
Oh, yeah, definitely. You know I have those. Come on now.
I know you got a baseball movie, and I'm going to guess your baseball movie.
You want to guess it?
Yeah.
Which one?
Sandlot.
Oh, of course. It's either Sandlot or Moneyball. I really like Moneyball.
Oh, both are great.
Yeah, those are 2 good ones.
Wait till you hear mine.
As far as football goes,
Jonah Hill could have got an Oscar for
He could have.
Jonah Hill should have won an Oscar for
Brad
that.
Pitt, too.
Jonah was, you're right. But Jonah Hill was better in my opinion. He should have won Best Supporting.
He was great.
He
in
wasn't
that
even
movie.
nominated.
He was that was my favorite Jonah Hill. That movie.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, he was good there too. He is good.
You showed me a check for $75,000. I quit my job and work for you.
Damn. All right, what's your football movie, JB?
Football movie. It's a tie. Friday Night Lights and The Longest Yard.
Okay. The original Longest Yard?
I like them both. Actually, I've seen both of them, but I like them both.
Paul Cruise,
good.
baby.
All right.
Go ahead, baseball one, I do like Sandlot a lot, but I'm going to go with Moneyball as well. And then my football one is We Are Marshall.
Oh, good one.
Yes,
Matthew McConaughey.
Yes, I really like that movie. Watched that with my dad millions of times.
Hey,
so.
you guys covered all the great movies, and I love every one that you got.
Yeah.
But my baseball one is the original Bad News Bears.
Bad News Bears.
I don't stop watching it. I watch it like once a month just to laugh wholeheartedly.
I'm beginning to see that's what everything.
It's so good.
You just don't
you know
stop
me,
watching.
I just go back and watch stuff. And football, there's so many. Like you said, you can't pick one. If I had to throw one out, I'll say
Walter Matthau?
I'll say Rudy. Yeah, Walter Matthau on the Bad News Bears. I'll say Rudy in football.
Yeah, another good baseball one is Hardball.
Rudy's phenomenal.
Hardball is great.
Yeah.
Hey, Hardball made me cry when I was
G
baby.
Yeah,
Michael B. Jordan.
Oh,
Michael B. Jordan was in there. He was in the neighborhood. My dad's gonna love this. Shout out to CP. Rudy's one of his favorite movies. And his favorite scene, I've said it a million times, it's when Charles S. Dutton, a.k.a. Rock, the groundskeeper at Notre Dame, is talking to Rudy, and Rudy's trying to play. He was like, "You're 5'0". 100 and nothing."
I love it.
Oh, my God.
That is great.
It's the best scene ever.
It is great. That's the chill scene.
You're 5'0".
Yep.
100 and nothing.
I love when the players are laying down
their jerseys
on Dan Devine's desk. That one, to me, was it. My last question is, blank's going to win the Preakness tomorrow. I know nobody in the chat even knows what the hell the Preakness is.
But they love you, though.
I know. Yeah. It's going to be Mage, and it's going to be National Treasure, 1-2. And Blazing Sevens is going to be third. That's it. We got a root for the Derby winner.
What was the name it was all together?
Coffee with Chris.
Coffee with Chris, baby.
Coffee with Chris.
Coffee with Chris.
All right. Hey, last break. Before we go to a break, let me tell you a little bit about Guardian
for the love of the game
Alarm.
Again.
Guardian Alarm. You know it. Our professional technicians. It's time. They take the time to recommend security and administration solutions specific to your needs. Anytime. Call them 24/7. Professional monitoring. Call them anytime, day or night. And a Guardian team member will stay on the phone with you as long as needed. Technology backed by their people. The safety and security deserve technology that's been proven to work and people who've been proven to care. That's the number. It's 1-800
Stay Out.
That's it. 1-800 Stay Out. It's Guardian. Ask for Jason. Tell him Maz and Braylon sent him.
Stay Out.
You know it.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
Last segment of the day.
Of the week.
Oh, this is true. Today is Friday. We have made it through. Shout out to you guys for making it through with us on this Friday.
We appreciate you guys,
man. We do this for you, and we appreciate your support always. You know what? Ryan usually does this, but it only took me 2 hours. Why don't you guys smash the like button?
Oh, yeah, that's right. We forgot about that like button.
Man. Get us some likes up there, man. Actually, give us a 5-star. What does Ryan say?
A 5-star rating, 5-star review.
You can tell I sit in this seat.
Yeah, a clown emoji. Me and I sit in a chair over there.
Emoji.
Give us the clown emoji.
Why not?
Just get on wherever you watch podcasts, and please give us a 5-star review, a 5-star rating. Tell people where we're at. It helps YouTube push out our content. We try our best to keep you entertained from the morning to the evening. After us, of course, the heavyweights are coming. Yep. So you know they're going to bring their A game as well. Spenny and Easy, and I don't know who's going to be in the booth. You got Chris Platty, alias, what they used to call him?
Who? Chris Platty?
What they used to call Chris Platty?
Oh, Sus.
Big Sus.
Yeah, Big Sus.
Big Sus. And Jeremy in the booth.
Big Sus.
JB working all day,
so
all night.
JB's going from there to over there.
I know, JB. We love you, man. We're all getting moved around. You guys are doing a great job.
You got to see what that pay scale look like for you,
Thanks a million for watching Woodward Sports. I'm going to go around the room one more time. You guys get to pick one more baseball and one more football movie that we haven't said.
Okay.
All right, Braylon? I know you got like 20 and 20. So go ahead.
Okay.
You already said the ones you really, really love.
This is true. Another baseball movie?
Anything you want. Anyone could jump in, too. Jump
you guys
in, guys.
already said Little Big League. You guys already said Sandlot.
Angels in the outfield.
What's it? What'd you say?
Is my mic muted? Angels in the outfield.
Oh, okay. Joseph Gordon-Levitt when he was younger.
Which one? What did he say?
Angels in the outfield.
Okay,
Danny Glover,
Angels in the outfield.
Gordon-Levitt. You know what? Here's one for you. Rookie of the Year.
Okay.
Since we going young, Rookie of the Year. Okay. Henry Rowengartner.
That's the kid with the Cubs?
Yes.
Okay.
Henry Rowengartner.
Or the Twins. Which one's the Twins
Twins
movie?
is Little Big League.
Little Big League.
That's when he inherits the team.
Okay. How about Richard Pryor, Brewster's Millions?
Brewster's Millions. They actually they beat the Mets.
Yeah.
Didn't they play the Mets?
Everyone beats the Mets.
Dude, you're right. You're absolutely right.
One of my favorite all-time sports movies is something that you guys in this room, I know you haven't watched, and it's called Let It Ride. And it's a horse racing movie. And Richard Dreyfuss is in it.
Yeah, we talked about this.
I watch it every year. Well, I watch it a lot. But I watch it every night the Derby's over. Me and my friends will watch Let It Ride. If you guys ever want to get a laugh, if any horse players are out there and you have not watched Let It Ride.
Horse players, that don't even sound like a thing.
Please,
for all
watch
my horse
Let It
players
Ride.
out there.
Hey.
For all y'all players of
you
the
guys
horse.
all have a great weekend. Hopefully you were entertained this week. And go Tigers. Tigers are in Washington, D.C. playing the Nationals this weekend. So good luck to them.
Hey, look, once again, we appreciate you guys for tuning in, joining us, watching us, supporting us, man. Once again, we do it for you guys, and we really appreciate you guys. Right, this has been great. This has been a great 2 years, 3 years technically.
Yep. 21,
22, and 23. This has been a great 3 years. So a lot of fun. Gentry, appreciate having you, man. Rocking with us on this
you
Friday.
You were on your game today, Gentry.
What?
On your game today.
Oh, thanks.
On your game, JB.
JB always on your game.
You know we appreciate you, man. From booth to booth and everything in between. We appreciate you. Tom Mazawey, always a pleasure to share the desk with you. And once again, we appreciate you guys out there. We will see you Monday. Enjoy your weekend.
Woodward Sports.
Can't get enough Woodward sports content, head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.